Hello, everyone. My name is Christine Chavez, and I manage the city's water conservation program. We're very excited to share with all of you all of the things that water conservation has been working on in the last 6 months. Just a little bit of background. Last year, we held a series of public meetings to collect public input. Our goal was to collect that input before we wrote one single word of the updated water conservation plan. We felt that we were very successful in that effort because we collected over 2,100 pieces of feedback. The update to the 5-year water conservation plan was completed and approved in December 2019 with consideration of all of that input that we collected. Part of our promise in that plan was to be transparent in the progress that we made against our goals in the scorecard and to keep the public involved. For the month of July, we will be collecting public input on our website, savewatersantafe.com. We have crafted 4 questions relative to each of our 4 goal sections. The input collected will inform our 2021 scorecard. Just a little bit of background on the scorecard. A couple years ago, with the help of the Water Conservation Committee, we developed a scorecard that would basically define all the different things that we would be doing for that calendar year. That timeliness would allow us to allocate the necessary budget to accomplish all of our goals for that calendar year. The Water Conservation Committee helped us develop performance indicators, which would help us measure our progress against each goal. And the Water Conservation Committee actually comes in and evaluates our progress on a biannual and annual basis so that we can see what we were able to accomplish and what resources maybe we were lacking that would have allowed us to make more progress against the identified goals. The 4 goals in the scorecard are education, outreach, and communication, customer service, partnerships and pilot projects, and effective program management. All of this information is available on our website in more detail if you're interested in digging into some of the details, but I did want to share each of the 4 goal sections and some of the progress that we made within each of those sections. So for goal number 1, education, outreach, and communication, we were pretty heavily hit by the pandemic. We were not allowed to go into the classrooms, students were not able to go on field trips, and some of our larger events like the Children's Water Fiesta has been canceled for the fall. So along with this, we were not able to hire our education outreach coordinator. And so, this program really did take probably the biggest hit. But what we're doing now is we're really trying to partner with other organizations to create virtual components that assist the teachers right now in their educational challenges. And so we're really, working to change some of these components so that they work in the time of the pandemic. But certainly we weren't able to make as much progress as we really wanted to. The second goal is customer service, and these are programs that work hand in hand with our customer service staff in the water division. The first is Ion Water. We are trying constantly to promote Ion Water as a tool for people to really look at their water usage, to be able to identify things that are happening in their homes, such as leaks, and to be able to keep out of things like tier 2 water rates by looking at their water usage and budgeting it within their billing cycle. Our rebate program also falls under customer service. And for those of you who are not aware of our rebate program, we have rebates for washing machines, dishwashers, toilets, outdoor watering equipment, irrigation equipment, and rainwater harvesting equipment. So for anyone interested in that program, all of that information is available on savewatersantafe.com. We also have a leak detection program that we work pretty hard on. And this is where we go into our system and use some of the AMI technology that all of us have associated with our meters now that allow us to look at real-time data. And so we're able to look at properties that have continuous flow or leaks occurring, and we make a pretty big effort to contact those people and let them know about the leak before they actually get their bill. So this is a big program. We're doing a lot of work on it and we're learning a lot from it, but wasted water is an opportunity for us. It's just a way to conserve pretty large amounts of water just by identifying and letting people know that they have these leaks on their properties. And then we also have an enforcement program, and we're really looking at water waste and working with larger communities like HOAs and people who do larger property management projects. But our enforcement program is something that we're looking at kind of changing as well, due to the fact that there's not a lot of one-on-one contact anymore. We're not really encouraged to be going into people's homes or doing audits of their yards, and so this is another area that we're really looking at trying to adapt. Goal number 3, partnerships and pilot projects. I believe that the water conservation program has been so successful because we have formed really great partnerships within the community. And we have pilot projects at the national level, the state level, and in the city. And so we're really, really happy to be working with our different partners on these projects. One of the projects is a neighborhood pilot project, and we're working with Public Works on that. And we've chosen the Nave Ave neighborhood to focus on. And I'll talk a little bit about that more further in the presentation. We also have organizational collaborations. We have a national pilot with the Alliance for Water Efficiency looking at cooling towers. And we have a local project focusing on restaurants and hotels that involves a partnership between the Santa Fe Community College, the Santa Fe Green Chamber of Commerce, a technology partner called Fin, and other nonprofits in the city. This is a really big project, and we're really, really, really proud of it, because it not only looks at commercial opportunities within restaurants and hotels, but there's also a training component to the community college where auditors are trained and certified to do these audits on the city's behalf. And so it's been a really great partnership, and we're super excited about it. And so I feel like the partnerships goals section, we really made a lot of progress on. So goal number 4 is effective program management. And this is an area that we really look at our internal function. We look at our staffing levels, our budget levels, our organizational development, our training opportunities, our collaborations with the Water Conservation Committee, facility management, including our building and our 3 demonstration gardens, our reporting and accountability, and integration with other departments. The pandemic really did affect this goal, mostly because we were not able to fill 2 of our vacant positions, which were absolutely vital to the program, one of those being the education coordinator. And also the staff currently is on a furlough, and so we're all cut by 10% of the hours that we work. Budgets have been cut, lots of other resources are limited. And so this is something that we have to adapt to. We're really looking at 2021 as a way to look for more efficiencies, to be creative, and to look for opportunities, because our goal is to move forward and to accomplish our goals, but we just have to make the adjustments relative to the pandemic. So one thing I'd like to talk briefly about is GPCD. For those of you who do not know what that acronym means, it's gallons per capita per day, and it is a pretty big measurement for water conservation. The graph indicates that we've made quite a huge drop in the water usage in the city from 168 gallons per capita per day, or per person per day, in 1995, all the way down to 87 in 2019. This graph and this measurement is really reliant on the climate that we're experiencing for that year. So for 2018, we had a very, very dry year. People were irrigating trees and their landscapes in early winter, January, February, March. Demand was really high in the summer. And so that really influenced that number being higher in 2018. But last year in 2019, it was definitely, we had more moisture. We had a wet winter, we had rains in the summer, and so that number really dropped mostly because of the precipitation levels that we were able to get. But we do know for 2020 that that number probably will go back up again, because we know that people are at home now, commercial usage is down, but residential usage is up, and so we'll have to see what happens to that number for 2020. But for the city as a whole, this is sort of a measurement of our progress and the city's commitment to saving water. As you can see, that water usage has dropped as population has continued to go up. The city of Santa Fe is well known in the Southwest for its very low GPCD number, and you know, we're always being asked about our programs and different things that we're doing because, you know, we serve sort of as a role model in that effort. But it's definitely the community that we live in the city of Santa Fe. You don't see a lot of lawns. People are very aware of the water that they're using. We're constantly getting questions about, you know, what plants use the least amount of water, what trees should I plant that use the least amount of water, what type of irrigation systems use the least amount of water. And there's a really big interest in capturing rainwater and looking at stormwater applications that do the same. So a little bit about what I just said relative to water usage in residential and commercial sectors. March 13th, 2020 was the stay-at-home order, or when the stay-at-home order was issued. And the green is residential usage and the blue is commercial. And so you can see the line which indicates the 2019 usage against the 2020 usage. And so in the green sector, you can see that residential usage has gone up and compared to last year, and the commercial usage has gone down. This is just a measurement for a short period of time. We'll have to see what this trend looks like in the months to come as businesses start to reopen. But it's interesting information for us because we know that we have been extremely busy during this time because people are at home and they're maybe working on their homes, and there's lots of remodels taking place. We've had a lot of rebate applications come in. We've had a lot of questions, as I said earlier, on, you know, how people can save water in their homes relative to leaks that they can fix and plants that they can plant and trees that they can buy. It's been a really, really busy time for us. And so we think it's, or we really, really think it's because people are at home and they have the time and space to really look at those opportunities a little more close, a little bit closer. So we have 4 questions, as I stated before. Each of these questions is going to inform specific parts of our scorecard where we feel we need the most assistance. So the first question is, the COVID pandemic has resulted in more people staying at home, and many are working on remodels, home and garden projects. Please priority rank water conservation topics you are most interested in learning about. So to participate in these questions, after this presentation is over, you'll click on that link and then you'll prioritize these topics. This will be so helpful for us in figuring out what everybody wants to learn about, how we can get that information out, what partnerships we can form, how we can really work on the education and communication goal to assist everybody in the topics they're most interested in. So some of the work that I'm really excited about that came about just from us being able to work from home and having our priorities shift quite a bit. Maybe we weren't in the schools, and maybe we weren't in the classrooms or on some of the tours that we give, but we did have an opportunity to build out one of our pieces that we just have not had time or space for before. And so we have begun to do spatial analysis on some of our programs. And so this map shows the distribution in the city of the different types of rebates that have gone out since the beginning of the year. So the green circles are clothes washers, cisterns, dishwashers. These are toilets, rain barrels, rain sensors, and this is a soil moisture sensor. And so we're able from this information to really look at the distribution of applications. Is there a part of the city where people are applying more for some of our rainwater harvesting equipment as compared to other parts of the city? Is there more opportunity for us to look? Is there more opportunity for us to look at messaging opportunities? You know, maybe there's parts of the city that aren't applying for our rebates, so maybe we need to focus more on that area of town and get the information out. I mean, there's just a lot of information that we're starting to look at. We've only been collecting this information for a few months, but you know, we're going to compare it to the previous years and really build out this data set so that we can look at some other opportunities. This map actually shows our 2020 continuous flow program. And so this is a program I mentioned earlier about how we're trying to notify customers ahead of their bill about a potential continuous flow or leak occurring on their property. So these are organized by the size of leak. So these are gallons per hour. And so the really small dots seem like it's not a lot of water, but it's still between 7.5 and 11.3 gallons per hour. And so every single day, that amount of water really adds up. And so when we mapped this, we found a couple different things. One, there is a lot of water to be saved by this program just by looking at the letters that we've sent out and the amount of water that each references. Another thing we're able to see is that the bigger circles in blue indicate that there's pretty big leaks that have not been addressed. And so we're really looking into this program now that we're able to see it visually about improvements that we can make. How can we actually measure the amount of water that we're saving as a result of this program? How can we address the leaks that are not being fixed? And what are reasons that we can sort of work on, for reasons why people may not be working on these leaks or making them a priority? So our second question, the recent installation of smart metering technology has identified many residences where leaks have persisted for months or even years in some cases. The Water Conservation Office has sent letters to notify residents about the leak with no impact. Please priority rank why you believe people are not addressing these leaks. So some of the responses are, the Ion Water app is not very user-friendly. There's difficulty in reaching or scheduling a plumber. The total cost to repair the leak may be higher than the amount of the bill itself. COVID challenges may really not, you may not want additional people on your property due to the pandemic, and it's cheaper to pay for leaked water than to fix the leak. So I think I may have gone through that question a little bit differently, but again, to answer these questions and priority rank them to really help us out, again, you'll just answer them at the end of this presentation. So I want to move on to a different section now. The city has a sustainability plan that really gained a lot of traction a couple years ago. We work very, very closely with that department, and a Core 40 team has been established to meet from, all these different departments within the city meet to discuss sustainability initiatives across the city. And they just had a really great accomplishment. They're only the second city in the nation to have received a LEED Gold certification for its exceptional performance in fostering a sustainable, resilient city. So we're very excited to collaborate with this team and to be a part of it. Water is a very big component of the sustainability plan and was a big part of receiving this designation. And so we're proud to have had a part in that. But one of the initiatives in the sustainability plan was to develop 2 neighborhood pilot projects. And so our scorecard tries to work on those goals, so that we can make progress also towards the city's sustainability plan. So question number 3 is really focusing on neighborhoods. We realize that there might be an opportunity now, especially in the time of the pandemic, to maybe not work with people on a house by house scenario, but to really look at neighborhoods as a whole, because oftentimes you'll have houses that are constructed the same, that have the same type of issues, landscapes that are similarly constructed. And so we may be able to address a neighborhood and really have a greater impact on the neighborhood as a whole, as opposed to just working with, like I said, house to house. So the question is, currently the city is working on a Navea de Neighborhood pilot program to look for smaller scale water conservation opportunities. Please priority rank the best ways we can work with you in your neighborhood. Some of the ways are showcasing drought-tolerant landscapes in your neighborhood, implementing neighborhood challenges on reducing water usage, neighborhood workshops, and getting information out through HOAs, Nextdoor, and other neighborhood newsletters. So our last goal, effective program management, like I said earlier, was definitely affected by COVID-19, and we, have many challenges ahead of us. Currently, our department is down 2 positions. All of staff is furloughed. Budgets have been cut. Programs have been forced to adapt. And the 2021 scorecard really has to reflect new opportunities amidst these challenges. So this question is directly related to those challenges. Due to COVID, the Water Conservation Office is running under limited budgeting and total staff hours, which have been reduced by 54%. Please rank the following programs to help the office determine priorities for 2021. So these programs include the K-12 education programs, adult outreach programs, our leak detection program, indoor rebates, outdoor rebates, and enforcement of water waste. So we are really excited about working with all of you on this process. You were so helpful in helping us finish up, the update to our water conservation plan. We felt like we have a lot of public buy-in now, a lot of people really interested in what we're doing, and we're hoping that you all participate in our process and help move us along amidst all the challenges that we all face today, to look for new ways for us to, continue to do the great work that we do in this community. And so our last question is really just to kind of get just general feedback on our process. We were hoping to do public input meetings for the month of July and to meet with all of you and to kind of, work on the same process as we did last year. And those were small group discussions, everybody having a chance to tell us how they felt and to really focus the feedback on areas that we needed help with the most. And so that's what we're doing here in a virtual format, but we still want to know, how did you feel about our process? And what are other ways that we can collect input from the community? And so this general question gives us a lot of information. And so we're excited to hear about your feedback on what we do in this area as well. So again, my name is Christine Chavez. I manage the city's water conservation program, and my contact information is up on the screen. But following this video, I hope that you will just stay on our website. There's lots of components there to explore. We have our updated water conservation plan for you to look at, all of the public input pieces that were collected last year that informed that process, and then the 5 questions that we have developed that will really, really help us with the 2021 scorecard. And if you're really interested in digging into the details on everything that we were able to get done in these last 6 months and the challenges that we were able to overcome and the areas where we certainly need more work, please look at our mid-year scorecard progress report. So thank you all for listening and for being part of the work that we do, and look forward to working with all of you and on this project. Thanks so much.